There we go. I love that. Recording in progress. Okay. Thanks for joining me this evening. And I'm recording this for those guys who can't make the meeting and want to catch up with this later. Yeah, the link's not working for her. Sorry. We'll send it to you. So a little bit about the dance company in a moment, but I want you to, if you have any questions as I'm going along, either just put just wave and then unmute yourself to ask the question. Hopefully I will talk through everything, and if I've missed anything, then you can ask the questions then, or just I might miss something, I might not. But yeah, let me go through everything. I'm a professional choreographer. I've been dancing since I was 4, and now I'm 54. So it's a long time, and done a lot of things with my dance career. I still choreograph on Strictly. Every year I do some of the things with So You Think You Can Dance, Dancing on Ice, all of those things. But I've been running dance companies like this for about 15 years now. One I had in London. I had one in London called the Sophisticated Ladies for 10 years. Then I had one in Munich, one in Surrey, and they all were great. And but they did it their time, and I stopped about 2 years before the pandemic because work took over. Basically with other dance work, other choreographic work. And then when my partner is he lives here. He lived here for like 6 years now. And I moved back here with him about a year ago, and we just bought together. So even though I still do a lot of things traveling, I want to work from home as well, as much as I can. And I've been running the Jazzettes dance company for the last year. Actually, we started June last year at Stoke Fleming Hall. And it's enthusiasts, swing dance enthusiasts, really. Most of the people are dancers. And however, that said, a lot of people that start have never done any of the style that I do. They might have had a little bit of ballet as a kid or a little bit of tap as a kid. But I do teach beginners all the time. The actual jazz company is authentic jazz, Charleston. We do chorus line stuff. We do, little flash mob dances. It's a lot of I've done like Bob Fosse style. I don't know if any of you know, like that type of dance, that type of genre, chorus line stuff, and it's about a bunch of ladies really getting together every single week and having fun. It's not about being professional. However, the way I run things, I think, are very professional, and the things I expect out of the company at certain points is still quite professional. That's just the way I like to work. Doesn't mean to say we don't have a whole lot of fun. All the companies that I've run, we're still, the camaraderie that we've had is incredible, and still have to this day. There's no, it's totally inclusive with age. One of my ladies was 75. She only stopped coming because it was too far for her to travel. She lived the other side of Exeter, and she was like, it's a long way to come for 2 hours each week. The only thing I don't have in my group are guys. And however, I have other dance companies where it's called the Jammers, where there's men and women. I really enjoy teaching and working together with other females. Part of what I do is I like putting other women on pedestals and build each other up. And the reason I started this in the first place was I was going through a very bad time in my personal life when I first started the dance companies, and it was a way of building my confidence back up again. And by building other women's confidence that built mine, if that makes sense. And that's one of the reasons why I do this. But it is at the same time my job. So it's part of me trying to not get on a plane every weekend and travel to different countries is what I generally do. And so I'm trying to work businesses around to keep me here. Um, the dance company is on Wednesday evenings. To begin with, if you're interested and you want to join, it's you don't have to want to perform. You don't have to, go. You can come along. You can enjoy the classes. It generally is a 2-hour class, but for all the new guys coming this time. This is the first time I've recruited in a year. Um, and what I tend to do is for the new recruits to come in with everybody for the first hour, and you will just do 1 hour each week. And that is with interact with all the other Jazzettes that have been there for a while. But what it means is that second hour, I can continue with some of the routines that I've already almost finished with them, and we need to get them finished in case they have performances. Does that make sense? And that second half, you can have a choice of staying that second half, watching, participating, but you don't have to, and you won't be positioned in some of the staging of it. Generally, I don't stage anything when we learn routines. We learn basic jazz steps. I put it into sequences. We then we sort of build on that, and we've had a very slow build. I'm not in a hurry for anything. There is no, well, by the end of so and so, I want you all perform. That's not the case. It's come in, see how it goes, see if you like it. The first 4 weeks, I do it as like a trial run. If you turn up, you pay. If you don't turn up, you don't pay. And let me tell you, once you if you've decided to come, the 2 hours is £15 each week. Let me get the ugly bit out. That's £15 a week. That's those people that are committed to being in the dance company. However, I probably will intend to do 4 to 6 weeks of trial. And that's really just a trial if you like it and go, I love this. I want to do it a little bit more, or not so sure about it. I'll give this week a miss, come in the next week and have another go. I've had lots of, actually, one lady in particular, she came in the second week. She said, Jen, I can't come back. I said, why? She said, because I'm rubbish. I went, you're not rubbish. And I said, do you love it? And she was like, I absolutely love it. I said, you will improve. And that's the thing, it's this gradual improvement that you might feel to begin with, this is out of my comfort zone. But we all put ourselves out of our comfort zone sometimes, and it's not a bad thing, and we're all there to support each other. One of the main things is to support each other and have fun together. And that's always been my major motto. I'm going to go through my list of things, my notes, so I can go through things clearly. I don't miss anything. I've talked about the trial period. As I said, you can come in. That trial period is £7 each week. Okay, because that's just for 1 hour, £7. Pay on the night. You can either pay me cash or you can pay by backs. That's up to you. And then after that, if you want to sign up, the dancers pay a month in advance, and if you're not there, you still have to pay. I've had to do that over the years because I've ended up with 3 people one night and it didn't even cover the cost of my room. So I've had to put that in place. But that's why I think I give you enough of a time. You go, I like this, I'm going to commit to the month. That said, I do take holidays. I do take, like, oh, we're going to have time off at Easter, we have time off in the summer, we have time off Christmas time, and you also get 4 weeks grace throughout the year. So you can say, oh, I've got holiday, but oh, I don't really want to pay when I'm on that holiday. You got 4 weeks that you can say, I can't make it this week. Can you take that off one of my weeks? Okay. That's as I talked about. You guys, you don't have to perform. You don't have to say, oh, do I really need to be in this, as a performance? No, you can stay if the back of the line, you can be in the front of the line, you can rotate the lines, wherever you feel most comfortable. And I will really try never to make anybody feel uncomfortable. You will get encouragement from everybody, because everybody has been that same position, if you like. It can be uncomfortable sometimes. When I do set the positions for choreography, because we learn it as a group, all doing the same thing, and then I might start staging it, which is what I do with my other companies. They all learn a routine, then I'll go to them for a whole day and I'll stage it like a stage production of you're over here, we're going to change that pattern, create a production piece where not everybody's in the same position. Do you understand what I mean by that? Yeah. When you stage it, what choreography is. It's not all in one place. You sort of change positions and things like that, create nice shapes. I told no obligation for the first 4 weeks. I think it's going to be 6 weeks. The first date is not the 22nd. It is June 29th. That's the first week. I'm having to take the week off before because my son is flying out to work at Camp Canada and I have to take him to the airport, unfortunately. No. But I have to go up to Portsmouth, pick him up. And so that's the reason I can't do that week. So I'll be starting from June 29th. Yeah, June 29th. If you can't make I talked about that. Yep, done that. I still get a 4 week. If anybody can't make the first week of the 29th, you can still get your 4 week trial period if you start after that. Okay, it's from your first one that you get your trial period. Miss the rehearsal, done that. Once you start, if you wanted to join the company, if you miss a rehearsal, we video at the end of the rehearsal a short breakdown of what we learned, what I taught you, and it's put on a WhatsApp group, so you can always watch it and try to learn it back. That's supposed to be the case, but we end up going over and over it the following week anyway. So, but that's up to you. If you wanted to go over what we did that you missed, you go, okay, I'm going to try to learn it. That would be up to you. I'm quite disciplined in time keeping. I do start on time. I finish. We've only got the room for 2 hours, and I pay for those 2 hours, and Kerry comes to turn it off and switch out at 10 o'clock. So I want to always make the most of those 2 hours. So being on time for me is quite important, and we always warm up before we get going. All right. Then he goes. Later on down the line, gigs we do get generally seem to be at holiday times when people want to go, can we hire some dancers? And over the Easter period or D-Day, especially with what I do, it's D-Day time or Christmas time, sometimes Christmas parties. We haven't got to that point yet, but it's intention to get to that point whereby we've got maybe a few things and we can do some flash mob things. But just so you know, that is a possibility. and it's being willing to say, yep, I'm fine to do that. Wouldn't ever ask you to do all of them, but it's just knowing that sometimes performances are on those Saturday evenings, for example, that if you don't mind taking a Saturday evening off and hanging out with some other ladies and having a bit of fun, then that would be a change from going to the Green Dragon. Maybe we could do one at the Green Dragon. I'm sure Al and Georgie would love it. Later on down the line, again, costumes are bought by yourself. We do look for the cheapest way to, you get one pair of shoes if you like, and they'll go with everything, or flat pair of flats, pair of heels. That means we'll put little bits and pieces on them to add to your costume later on. The gigs, let me see, connected to the performers. No, don't need to do that. And then the other stuff is really performance stuff, which I don't think we really need to chat about at the moment. I think it's your turn to ask questions. So, anybody have any questions that you'd like to ask? Unmute yourself and chat away. No, not at the moment.
Hi. Yes.
Hello.
Hi. Can I just ask what people generally wear for the practice?
Okay, right. So anything that's comfortable, right? And when I say comfortable, leggings, tracksuit bottoms, sweats, t-shirts. We don't dress up. We don't even put makeup on half the time. It's trainers, plimsolls. We don't wear heels. It's I tend to wear my Nike trainers. Something that doesn't stick though. My Nike trainers have got quite a soft bottom. However, what I tend to do is, the little sockets that you've got put inside your shoes, I actually put them outside my shoes. So that actually I can wear the comfiest trainers, but still swivel if I do any Charleston and things. So most people wear a pair of leggings, baggy t-shirt, or whatever, like that.
Gym wear, kind of.
Totally gym wear, yeah.
Thank you very much.
All right. Jackie, do you have a question?
Yeah, is it always you teaching, Jenny?
Not always. At the moment, yes, I'm around. So I'm the one teaching all the lessons on Wednesdays. When it hits, it's a great question, Jackie, because when it hits Strictly season, now Strictly season for me starts usually the beginning of October. I'm not in every week, and when I'm not in, I will be here at home taking rehearsals. If I'm choreographing a Charleston or something that week, or a group number, Terry from Plymouth, she is one of my Jazzettes. She is also running a dance company. She actually opening a dance company in Plymouth called the Jammers, which involves guys. That opens this month. So she's going to be running a company for me, and still maintaining being part of the Jazzettes. She will take my rehearsals. So it's always covered, and she knows my stuff sort of, inside out, really.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can't guarantee that I'm always going to be there, but anytime I'm home, I'm there.
Do you have like a regular set of gigs you try and attend?
Not at the moment, because I felt I've been trying to build the company, but when we started, not everybody, 80% were brand new, absolute beginners. Never done any of the things that I've done before. With the exception of maybe a few people from the swing dance world. So I've trained them from scratch, which is why I think you missed the first bit, Jackie. I had mentioned to everybody here, the first hour is me teaching again, teaching how to do the certain jazz steps, easy routines. The second half of the rehearsal is going to be the harder routines that I need to continue for the company, that's the existing company.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that way, I'm still going to keep the I'll keep the or existing dancers because we need to do that for some gigs. Where we've got a gig in Plymouth for the Christmas, and I
Yeah.
do intend. I've already spoken, and there's a possibility of next year for the Dartmouth Music Festival. You know that I'm sort of like hoping to go towards, but I don't feel the company's ready yet. My
Yeah.
my name is attached to it.
Yes, you want everyone to have got it by the
Absolutely.
time you perform. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very happy for us to go along and for people to join, do it as a fun jazz class to begin with, then integrate into the routines that we have. We're going to do new routines, and to me it's a slow build, and the dancers that are already there, yes, I can put them out to do gigs now almost, but for me it has to be of a certain level standard to put out there. And as I mentioned before, not everybody needs to perform. You don't have to. If you don't want to perform, you don't have to. Ali, you got a question?
Yeah, so how many existing Jazzettes have you got in Stoke Fleming,
There is 8, 9, 10, 11.
and how many are you thinking you might recruit?
Whoever wants to come along. I have no expectation, to be honest with you, Ali. When I first started, I had 22 dancers.
Wow.
That was a year ago. They lasted quite some time because it was really, I think what most people had a problem with was the travel, coming to Stoke Fleming. It wasn't the rehearsal, it wasn't the learning of the dances, it wasn't anything to do with that. It's one of the reasons why I sort of advertise locally as well, because most people were coming from Plymouth or from Exeter or further afield, and it is a commitment. It's quite a commitment, and I think those that could get car shares, they're still coming, and for them, it's worth coming up from Plymouth, for a couple of hours a week. I mean, Jackie comes down to Plymouth every Tuesday to my class, don't you?
Yep. Brilliant. Yeah.
Pretty committed.
Yeah. Well, it's an hour for me to Plymouth, but it'll be a bit further to Stoke Fleming.
Yeah.
Have you got many others coming down from Exeter?
I don't know yet. I have no idea. I have no idea. People are still emailing me, and as I said, I'm going to send this out to those that couldn't make the meeting. And it's still a way off because it's not until June 29th is the first rehearsal date for you. So you've got time to think about it. I'd love to recruit at least 5 more ladies plus, yeah, and I just think to begin with, you don't know until you ever go, do you? And you might go, no, this is totally out of my comfort zone. I might not enjoy it, but I reckon you probably will. I think anybody that's come along, we have a good laugh, and it gets more serious a little bit further down the line. But and even then, it's up to you how far you want to take it. I have 2 ladies that have said to me they never want to perform. I'm still okay with that. They still come along and have a great time. They're not in the performance that we're doing at the moment, so I've given them a few weeks off because we've had to concentrate. We've got a gig in 2 weeks here in Stoke Fleming. So something I was going to ask all you Stoke Fleming residents, I'm running a weekend at the village hall on the 28th and 29th. It's already completely booked out, so people are coming from all over the country. and I'm teaching Lindy Hop and solo jazz. That Saturday night, the Jazzettes are performing. Now, I wondered if on the Wednesday, which is our last Wednesday rehearsal, if you'd be interested in coming along to our rehearsal for, 15 minutes, and you can have a look, see what they've achieved, see the type of ladies that are there, and just come and observe for a little bit. When I mentioned it to them that I was going to ask you, they were like, oh my God, really? Like, oh, we don't know, because actually some of them haven't performed before. And we've only ever done one performance, and that was a fun routine at Christmas in Plymouth. And none of it was staged. So this is their first staged number. And yeah, so if you guys are free and you want to come along, if you can come along around 9 o'clock on Wednesday, please do. And it'll be from that window of like 9 o'clock to 9:15. If you can come in, just see what we're doing. All right, because I'll have that last 45 minutes where I'm going to have to whip him into shape a little bit, because we've got the performance on Saturday.
Do you mean the 25th of May?
25th, 26th, 27th. So yes, 25th. Yeah, literally next week, isn't it? Next Wednesday, not this Wednesday, next Wednesday. So if you can come along and watch that rehearsal, that'd be cool. You'll come into the evening, you'll come into the weekend, Jackie, though, aren't you?
Sadly not, Jenny.
Oh, you're
You
not?
were booked up, weren't you?
No, I got one follow place free if you want it.
Have you?
Yeah, you can talk to me
Ooh.
later.
Yeah, I'll chat to you later then.
Yeah.
Which 28th, 29th?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll check.
Okay. John's missus, she's broken her wrist.
Oh, Tracy.
Tracy, yeah, so she's had to pull out.
Oh.
Anyway, we can chat tomorrow.
Okay, perfect.
Any other questions? Laura?
So I was just wondering, I know you said obviously sometimes there's holidays and things like that, but do you run from June when you start? Is that going to be a full year worth of lessons apart from the holidays and things like that?
Well, it's up. Yeah, I mean, we'll run from June.
Yeah.
Pretty much, because we're starting quite late in June. Normally I would take a couple of weeks off in August, and what I probably do is maybe take that bank holiday week off, the end of August.
Yeah.
But because we're starting so late, I'm not going to take like 2 or 3 weeks off in the summer, because we're starting pretty much halfway through the summer. But then
yeah, but it's running pretty much, like sometimes I went to a choir once and they just did it for a period of like 6 months, and then they had a break, and then they started again. You're doing it pretty much the full.
I've done it throughout the whole year.
Yeah.
Aside from taking a couple of weeks off here, the Christmas week. This will be their longest time off for the Jazzettes, and I'm giving them 4 weeks off for many reasons. One, I'm running the event, which is a lot of pressure. 2, I've just moved, and that whole week we've got all this stuff going on here. 3, I've got to take Mikey, my son, to the airport and get his stuff out of his place and put into storage. And I'm like, I need a little bit of breathing time. And I've got 6 other companies that I have to organise a little bit before starting afresh with you guys.
Okay. Yeah.
Does that answer your question?
It does. Thank you.
Yeah. It's full on. It'll always be here.
Yeah. And then I've just got one more question.
Go ahead.
So I've done some dancing, but only never a dance lesson or anything like that. It's just purely, parties and things, but I've never done jazz or anything like that. So you're pretty sure? Well, I won't know till I come to the taster, will I? But I suppose.
I taught Ed Bors to dance as well, I mean, this.
Do it, anyone can.
Yeah, I'm very patient. I'm just not patient with pros.
Yeah.
With pros, I expect a certain standard,
Yeah.
and if you're not delivering, I can get pretty strict. This is not that. The only time I get strict is if we're performing on Saturday and you don't know your steps.
Yeah.
That's the only time, because I'm like, you would have had plenty of time to know them.
Yeah.
And even then, you know, it is what it is. It's fun. It's supposed to be fun. Most people come out to lessons like this, or they come dancing to get out of the house. We've all got our own stories in life, why we need to do certain things, and to take ourselves away from reality sometimes and go, I want 2 hours out of the house, you know, and I want 2 hours with other women who enjoy dancing, might not have really ever done much of it before, but you're all in the same boat and you're all going to hopefully have a really fun time. And it's putting yourself out there to begin with. I always think it's the hardest step. The hardest step is that initial getting in that room to begin with. And you might feel self-conscious. Every single person will. On my first day of anything, I also feel like that. I get nervous. So it's, I don't know, I just think it's build each other's confidence. It's, you know, it's, you got to try it.
Yeah. You don't know till you try, do you? So
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Adele, you had a question?
I did. I was just interested on how much of a workout it will be. And I know that depends on how much you put into it. But I used to do a Zumba class, and I think
Not like Zumba.
I think I was Beyonce for an hour, and I used to come out dripping. Is it going to be?
No.
Like, no?
I do. I teach something called strictly Charleston Fit classes.
Mm-hmm.
Now those classes are 45 minutes of teach you a little bit, dance a whole track, teach a bit, dance a whole track.
Yeah.
Where it's purely for fitness,
Mm-hmm.
right? This is not that. This is me teaching you a little step. We'll put on a bit of music, try it a few times. I'll go over a little bit more technique. You know, we just try it a few times. Maybe we'll add a little bit there. It's a slow build. And to begin with, you know, it's only going to be an hour, well, 50 minutes really for you guys for that first bit. So it's probably a gradual build of stamina. But it's a great question. It's not like bam, bam, bam. However, once we're running routines and we've got a whole 3.5 minute routine and you're knackered at the end of it, and I'll go, right, let's do that again. They go, but don't worry, I do give you water breaks.
Okay, thank you.
All right?
Yep.
Anybody else have a question?
So I was going to ask a similar question to the one that Laura asked, except
Yeah.
that I've got even less dance experience than Laura.
Right, okay.
And I can't, whenever I've tried like aerobics or anything like that, my hands and feet don't do this. Yeah, I can do the feet or I can do the hands.
The
I can't put together. Yeah.
Coordination.
I'm going left when you're all going right.
Yeah,
I haven't got any dance experience either, Penny.
yeah.
So,
All I can say to you is if you can't know until you try it. Until you just come in for the first class. Do you know what I mean? The first one, there you go. It's, you know, for a laugh, for one night, you go, I'm either gonna love it or I'm gonna hate it. Or, you know, I always think you learn how to learn. That makes sense. I've got ladies that's still in the company that from the beginning have gone, oh God, I can't do this. I've got no coordination, can't put 2 steps together. Who is now doing a full routine a year later. And so there is a process in learning to learn. And it's learning to use your brain and use your body in different, as you say, coordinate in a right arm up there with a left leg out there. And most people, and then I'll just say, just use your other left leg, you know. And it's one of those things. I do have a lot of people that have come through my classes have left right issues or orientation issues. If I said right, turn right, my job is finding a way to make it clear for everyone and trying to explain things in in many different ways so that you pretty much all understand it. And I think I've been doing that for a lot of years. And you know, you might enjoy it, you might not, you might go, oh, I just don't enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, then you shouldn't come. If you enjoy it, don't give up on it.
It's not the sort of thing I would normally put myself out for, but Adele, Rebecca and Belinda, we're all going to do it together, aren't we?
Yeah.
It'd be great.
Yeah.
Come
To
for
grab
one
us in the
night,
pub.
support each other, you know, yeah. Go to the pub after, or go to the pub, have a quick drink before you come in. All right? Just one. You know, go have yourself a quick Dutch courage, you know, and then come on in and yeah, see how it goes. Any other questions?
Is that a pint of gin then?
Yeah, right. After it might be. The thing with this lot, they can walk home afterwards, so they don't have to get in a car and drive. Yes, Anne.
Does everybody have to start at the same time? I've got a few things on in July and August. So would that be a big problem?
No, if you wanted to start, do you mean you start in September?
Would that be possible?
Absolutely possible.
Ah, wonderful.
Yes, absolutely possible. It would be, we would have done a few things. So by then we might have established a few steps, but that first hour will always be building blocks, if that makes sense. We wouldn't go back to scratch, but you'll be integrated into the group in the easiest way possible through that first hour.
Brilliant. Thank you.
No problem. Anybody else?
Annie could come round to me and I can tell you what we've done, show you what we've done.
There you go. See, do you know what, Sue? That's what the other girls do. They actually, it's become part of their social life. They meet up together and go, oh yeah, I missed it the other day, what we done, and they have a good laugh trying to, you know, go over the steps that we did. But it's supposed to be enjoyable. It's not supposed to be an effort, as in, oh my God, I need to do homework, I need to get my stuff before I go into next week. You know, that's not what this is about. That's probably, Jackie, why it's taken so long to build the company that I have there, because I just feel it's more for fun for them, these guys at the moment. Some of them want to do more stuff, and we'll get to that point, but I'm not in a hurry to do that. Any other questions? Do you think I might see you then?
Yeah.
What I'm going to ask you to do is, can anybody come next week, next Wednesday? Pop in.
I think so.
Yeah.
Just
Probably,
come in at 9 o'clock just to see them perform, and then you can just get to see what they're doing as well. And remember, what you're going to see, they've pretty much worked on a long time to get to that point. But it'd be lovely if you could come to that. Could you do me a favour? And I know I sent most of you the link. Could you email me not email me. In you did you all get this from like either the Stoke Fleming page or my messenger? I need all your emails so I can send you out any more info, or just so I know I have contact with you, if that's all right.
Got mine,
Yeah.
Jenny.
Got yours.
Yeah.
Where do you want? Well, I've sent you the email to get this Zoom call. Is that okay, or do you want me to send it you?
Only because I had a lot of people that had come through, and I haven't got everybody here. Not everybody's turned up.
Okay.
So, do you know what I mean? So it'd be great for me to make a list of who definitely wants to come on that 29th.
Okay.
All right, which would be great for me. Yeah. Any other questions? No.
No, I'll see you tomorrow, Jenny, at Mad About Swing.
Yeah, will do. Thanks, guys. I hope I've answered everything. And as I said, you got to come along, see what it's like, and you either like it or you don't. And you go, I'm never going back there again, or really had a good time. Let's go back. Let's have another fun week. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. I'm going to stop the recording.
Thanks, Jenny.